Okay, so we have a PNG right here of a color palette, the active area, and the actual logotype. So first thing first, I'm gonna select the first letter, A, and then I'm gonna go ahead to the pen tool. Make sure you select Tool Create Mask, okay? We don't want to create a shape. I'm gonna zoom in to the A. And then right here, you have to pay attention to the cursor, okay? Because if I move here, you can see that it's just a normal selection tool. But if I move here, you can see that we have the plus sign with the pen tool, which means it's gonna add an anchor point. And if I move down here, for example, we can see that we have now the pen tool with the square and a dot in it. And this is the one I want to have before I add the mask or the stroke mask. So I'm gonna click here, and then here, and then here. Once we add this, we can select the selection tool and then just align the mask with the letter, just like this. And now as you can see, we didn't cover the entire letter. We still need to add the mask to this part of the A so we can mask it as well. So unselect the first layer, then reselect it again, then reselect the pen tool, mask, and then add another mask right here. So we're gonna be working with two masks, okay, not just one. Selection tool, and then adjust this one as well. There we go. The next thing you want to do is that under effects and presets, you want to look for stroke, okay? And then look for generates, and then you have stroke right here. So click on it and put it on layer number A, or if layer number A is selected, you can just double click on it, okay? You can see that it will add a stroke to the mask or to the mask path that we created. First thing is just change the color so you have some contrast between the foreground and the background. There we go. And we can increase the size of the brush size like this. And also make sure brush hardness is 100% so you won't have any blurriness or transparency in the edges of the stroke. Okay, I'm gonna adjust the mask now as I'm adjusting the brush size. Maybe increase it a little bit more. Let's click away to see what's going on. Okay, maybe we need to adjust this part a little bit here. And this part here a little bit. Now, as you can see right here, the stroke is applied to only one mask, okay? And we have two masks. So what we can do is right here on the path, make sure you check all masks. Now it is applied to all masks. Now the next thing we have to do is animate the stroke, okay? And the way we animate the stroke is the same thing as animating a trim path. So what I'm gonna do is find end, add a stopwatch or a keyframe, click on layer A, and then click on U so I can find the keyframe. Zoom into the timeline until I see the frames the way I want them to be or the way I want to see them. So the first keyframe, I'm gonna put it under 20 frames or maybe more. And then end right here, I'm gonna put 0 in the beginning of the timeline. Now you can see that the mask or the stroke is gone. But if I move the playhead, you can see what's going on here. And now what we want to do is mask the letter. So what we'll do is go to Paint Style and change from On Original Image to Reveal Original Image. And now the letter is gone. Select both keyframes, F9 for the ease-ins. And now if I move the playhead, you see that we have the nice animation. But we have a problem here is that we have this thing in here coming out of the stroke, and we want to fix that. So select the layer, and then with the selection tool, select it. I'm just gonna move this stroke a little bit to the left, like this, but don't move it too much, okay? You don't want to have some white space under the bounding box, just a little bit. Now move here. You can see that we have the same problem. I'm gonna move this one to the right a little bit too. Okay, now it looks good. Select both keyframes, go to the speed graph, and then I'm gonna apply some easy ease in. Okay, now if we click on play, all right, nice animation. Maybe I'll separate the keyframes a little bit more, like this, and that's good. You know, just to make the animation a bit slower. So same thing with the R, click on the R, pen tool, and the same process, okay? Select the tool, create mask, and then add the mask in here, here, click and drag the curve, hold Alt or Option, and then bring this handle back like this to this point, and then click here and drag like this, hold Shift, do the same thing for this handle, and then click here. Now since we have the mask added, instead of adding these stroke effects again and adjusting the settings, we can just copy from the previous layer. So select layer A, select stroke, Control Command C, select R layer, Control Command V, and here we have it, okay? Okay, of course we can adjust this as well. There we go. Now let's do O, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and speed up things, okay? So for the O, same thing. I know you're thinking, why not add a shape to the O? And the reason is if we add shape, it's gonna mask everything, and we don't wanna mask everything right now. We wanna mask it using a different method. This is why we cannot close the mask, we need to leave it open. So add the pen tool, mask, and then same thing, click here and drag, hold Shift, hide this handle by holding Alt or Option, click here and drag, again hide this handle, click here and drag, hide this handle, and then click here and drag. Okay, don't close the mask. Now with the O selected, Control Command V, so we can paste the stroke effects, and here we have it. Okay, maybe a little bit more here, like this. Adjust the brush size a little bit. Okay. Now I'm just gonna do the rest of the letters real quick. For the last A, I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate the first A. Let me go full screen here. There we go. So I'm gonna duplicate the first A, Control Command D, and then I'm just gonna drag it like this on top of the other A. Now let's hide the last A. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete the last one and then bring this one all the way down. Okay, now if I select all the layers and click on U, now as you can see all the keyframes have been added and all the keyframes have the same values, okay? They all have ease in. So again, select everything, click on U to close the keyframes or to hide the keyframes. And now what I'm gonna do is right click and then pre-compose. And then I'm gonna give it a name, Aroma 1. Once I pre-compose, I'm gonna double click on the new composition and I'm gonna offset the letters a little bit. So select all of them. This thing here. Go to Window, and I wanna select my scripts, the rifts. Okay, so these are my settings, and I have here Descendant. Under Arrange, click on Play. Click again, okay, because I want the first letter to appear, then the rest of the letters. Okay, so something like this. So we have here. Okay, maybe one more. Okay, so this looks fine for me. I'm gonna leave it like this. This is a creative process, so there is no right or wrong. You can choose whatever you want. You just need to master the techniques and be creative, that's all. Customize the techniques so you like it. Now let's go back to the first project, like this. And now let's go ahead and add the colors, okay? Because it's important to keep the color palettes that the client wants in a logo animation. So first thing first, I'm gonna go ahead and add a light background, probably this color. So layer, new, solid. Click on the eyedropper tool and select this color, okay? And I put it all the way to the bottom and then just lock it. Now select the composition and duplicate it. Right click, rename. I'm gonna put here aroma number 2. And then zoom in. And I'm gonna offset this then 5 frames. Okay. Now I'm gonna change the color of the first comp. So under effects and presets, look for fill. Okay, so under generate we have fill. I'm gonna add it to comp number 1. Okay, and then click here and choose this color green. There we go. Now I'm just gonna hide the duplicated composition so we can see the color that we added. And then on the second one, I'm gonna do the same thing, okay? So unhide aroma number 2, add fill, and select the eyedropper tool, and I'm gonna select this color right here. There we go. Now, if we click on play,